Every December, business owners and hiring managers pull out their notebooks, dashboards, and whiteboards and start planning for the next year. But heading into 2026, the labor landscape looks different, fundamentally different than the last few years. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, and wherever you happen to be right now. I'm Mike Voories, here to help you build a stronger team. Candidate expectations have shifted. Wage pressure isn't going away, and good people are harder to keep. Technology has changed faster than most leaders can keep up with, and the companies that continue hiring the same way they did in 2023 and 24 are already falling behind. This is why 2026 is shaping up to be a hiring reset year. The smartest companies are already adapting, while others are still catching up. Here's what's changing, what's outdated, and what organizations are doing differently to build stronger teams in 2026. First, the talent market isn't back to normal, it's just different now. A lot of leaders have been hoping things would get back to normal, but the truth is, this is the new normal. Job seekers expect faster communication. More candidates want clarity around pay than ever before. Skills vary more widely than they used to. Culture and leadership matter more than ever before. Remote and hybrid expectations haven't really disappeared, they've just stabilized. And candidates want simpler interviews with fewer hoops to jump through. Employee supply hasn't magically increased, it has simply become more fluid. People are moving faster, they apply faster, and they leave faster when they don't feel aligned. So, what's the takeaway? You can't rely on inbound job applicants anymore. Post and pray is officially obsolete. Putting up a job ad and waiting is no longer a strategy. Heading into 2026, it's a liability, and here's why. Because job seekers have more options and lower tolerance for friction. When the right employers reach out to them directly through proactive recruiting, they're gone. Smart companies know this. They're not posting a job and refreshing their inbox. They're actively sourcing candidates using multiple job boards, leveraging niche job boards and sites and industry communities, creating pipelines year round, treating recruiting as a continuous process and not an occasional fire drill. You know, if your strategy is posting a job, you don't really have a strategy. You have a wish. Slow hiring kills good candidates. If a company takes too long to schedule interviews or make decisions, candidates assume one of two things, and they're probably right about both of them. The company is disorganized or the company is not that interested. Neither helps you hire great people. Heading into 2026, the window to hire top talent is shorter than ever. Candidates are getting offers within days, not weeks, and the companies winning the talent rates are responding to applicants within 24 to 48 hours. These companies are keeping interviews simple, they're giving clear next steps, and then they're moving decisively when they meet the right person. You know, speed doesn't mean being reckless, it means being prepared. Job descriptions filled with fluff don't work anymore. The copy and paste job description era is gone. In 2026, job seekers are scanning postings the same way shoppers compare products: fast, skeptical, and they're looking for proof. So, what no longer works? Vague descriptions, endless bullet lists, jargon heavy corporate speak, rock star anything, and a fast paced environment because everybody has one. What does work? Clarity, transparency, realistic responsibilities, honest expectations, and a clear picture of what success really looks like. If your job ad isn't specific, candidates won't apply because they're overwhelmed with options and short on patience. All right, we'll pay based on experience. This is now a turnoff. Knock it off. Pay transparency has become the standard in state after state, and even where it's not required, candidates expect it. and they penalize companies who hide it. While pay based on experience used to give flexibility, now it creates distrust. Going into 2026, smart companies are posting real pay ranges, using data, not guesses, to set compensation, and adjusting wages to avoid compression, making sure long tenured employees don't end up earning the same as brand new hires. Offering performance bonuses tied to clear metrics, using simple, understandable incentive programs. When people know what they can earn, they apply more and they end up staying longer. Ghosting candidates is a fast track to losing talent and your reputation. Candidate ghosting used to be frustrating. Now, employer ghosting is a deal breaker. In 2026, candidates simply assume that if a company ghosts them during hiring, they'll do the same when it comes to pay increases, training, communication, advancement. The smartest companies have built systems to ensure consistent communication, even when the answer is no. This isn't just good etiquette, it's a competitive advantage. Reputation spreads quickly now, and candidates talk. The companies winning in 2026 are recruiting year round. This is one of the biggest shifts of all. High performing companies aren't treating recruiting like a one off event, they're doing it the same way they approach sales, finances, or marketing. They're working on it all year. Because in 2026, hiring the right people feels less like a quick transaction and more like an ongoing growth strategy. The leading companies are building future pipelines, they're preparing ahead of time for turnover, and they're thinking 6 to 12 months ahead. You got to recruit before you're desperate. Networking with talent, even when they're fully staffed. These companies make better hires because they're not recruiting under pressure. A simple, more connected HR tech stack is becoming the norm. The HR tech explosion of the last few years has left many small businesses with way too many tools and not enough integration. In 2026, companies are simplifying. The winning trend is fewer tools that work better together. Smart companies are investing in payroll plus HR plus onboarding systems all under one roof. Clean, easy to use applicant tracking systems and simple performance management tools. Automation that reduces admin work is becoming very popular. Tools that help teams communicate clearly, absolutely. Because the real value isn't having the tools, it's having tools people actually use. And then onboarding is finally getting the attention it deserves. Hiring is step one, but keeping good people is step two. The best companies heading into 2026 are treating onboarding as a structured system, not just a warm welcome and a quick tour. They're doing things like creating 30, 60, 90-day plans, assigning mentors, setting weekly check-ins, providing written expectations, and then conducting intentional training instead of just casual training. The companies who hire well but onboard poorly are going to see more turnover than ever in 2026. And then next, a reminder. People quit leaders, not jobs, and that's still true in 2026. Even with all the changes in technology and hiring trends, one thing remains the same year after year. Employees don't quit jobs, they quit the person leading them. What's new in 2026 is that people are recognizing this faster. They're leaving quicker when leadership is unclear, inconsistent, or unapproachable. Winning companies, however, are doubling down on communication, accountability, creating calm, stable workplaces, and investing in their managers. The good companies are providing clarity instead of chaos. Good leadership will always out-recruit a job board, where bad leadership will always outpace turnover. What this all means for 2026. The companies doing hiring right in 2026 aren't the ones with the fanciest tools or the biggest budgets. They're the ones who move fast, communicate clearly, treat recruiting as a year round process, invest in better onboarding, provide stable leadership, create environments where people don't want to leave. Businesses who adapt now will win. Businesses who wait will continue to struggle. The 2026 hiring reset isn't about changing everything. It's about recognizing what no longer works and being intentional about what does. Companies that adapt now will attract better talent, keep their best people longer, and build teams that perform at a higher level. Companies that don't will continue fighting the same hiring battles year after year. The good news: you don't have to overhaul your entire organization to win in 2026. Small, consistent improvements, faster communication, clearer leadership, better onboarding, more transparent pay, and year round recruiting mindset add up to major results. Now is the time to reset, refocus, and build a stronger team for the year ahead. Need help hiring or strengthening your team in 2026? BR1 helps companies across the country hire better, retain longer, and build stronger teams. Whether you need recruiting and hiring support, HR guidance, payroll and HR tech recommendations, or help building better hiring and onboarding systems, we're here to help you start 2026 with clarity and with confidence. One resource: stronger teams.